and welcome to this week's episode of Trial by Trial, as we deep dive into the case of Doran. And a brief summary, which I'll give to you. Doran found himself in purgatory, where he is facing up against the Arbiter, who will weigh his soul to see whether he should be condemned to hell and therefore the clutches of Damnifer, or if perhaps he should be sent on to Helvoth, or some other fate. And so our intrepid dwarf found himself in the company of two rather interesting characters, a tiefling and an orc with a penchant for legal matters. They decided to represent him for reasons known only to them and those who watched last week's episode. And now we are about to start the trial of the century. But considering that purgatory is for all eternity, that means it's just like every other trial. And so you have presented your list to the Arbiter. The Arbiter has given you the list of Damnifer that he is summoning, those that will represent his case. And you are summoned before that giant skeletal form of the Arbiter with smoke rising off of it. And it looks down at you, it looks down at Damnifer. He then looks to the three of you, looks at Damnifer, and says to Damnifer, "Summon your witness, devil." Damnifer looks over at the three of you and blows you all a kiss. And then turns and says, "I summon as my first witness Lord Thodar, High Elf of Quethlen and representative of the treacherous nature of Doran." The Arbiter bangs this metal ball on his desk, and the apparition of Thodar appears. The regal elf is standing there looking quite concerned, his pointed ears almost twitching as he takes in the scene. But through the magic of arbitration, he doesn't fight the situation that he's in. Damnifer takes center stage and looks from Lord Thodar to Doran. "My Lord Thodar, we are discussing the nature of one dwarf by the name of Doran. I believe that he was responsible for orchestrating the abduction of a charge that you had been legally given control over. Is this true or not?" The elf nods. "It is indeed correct. I was given the prince as custodian, and then the dwarf and his companions abducted the prince and fled from our capital city. There was no cause given other than the abduction of the prince and several magical items of some considerable worth."
Objection!
The Arbiter looks over at you.
You see, what you're doing there, right, is you're citing the decisions in will of four people, not just the subject in question, the accused. So you can't attribute a motive and ill will to one individual alone when there's four people involved. So that's my objection. And also, thanks for a cup of tea.
Sustained. Advocate Damnifer.
Getting good at this, Slobber.
Thank you, my learned colleague, for making sure that we are all following the letter of the law. I will rephrase. Lord Thodar, was Doran part of a collective who abducted the prince legally or illegally? Thodar nods. He was part of a group that abducted the prince and fled the capital of Quethlen.
Objection, Your Honor.
Grounds.
This abduction is not on trial. That is not the case to which we are currently discussing, and the context of which would take some time to explain and would shine perhaps a better light on our defendant.
The Arbiter looks back at Damnifer. I am merely trying to point out that the individual who is on trial will lie, steal, and cheat to get whatever it is that he wants, Your Honor. But if we don't have the time to explore this matter, then I have no further questions for Lord Thodar.
Can I ask this, Your Honour? Can I ask the witness a question or two?
It is your right.
Good. Right, Des, whatever your name is. What is your general attitude to the dwarves? Do you like them? Now, be honest.
Everybody looks at the elf. The Arbiter looks at him. You are compelled to tell the truth. The elf looks at Doran. I have no particular interest in dwarves.
That's not what I asked you, mate. I asked you, do you like them or do you dislike them?
It is not logical to dislike something with which I would not associate freely.
Right. My point, Your Honour, is this. This bloke here may have ill will towards our client based on racial prejudices, which are, horrible. And also, I think he's a dodgy witness because we don't really know what his agenda is with regard to this whole purported abduction of some little prince shithead. Excuse my language, Your Honour. In other words, he's a dubious witness, is what I'm trying to say. Help me out, slobber, for fuck's sake.
The Arbiter nods and, with a great big quill plucked from a very dead vulture, makes some notes and then looks directly at you, Doran. Did you or did you not participate in the abduction of the prince?
The abduction, the act itself, was perpetrated when I was not there, but it is true that I fled the city from forces that were looking to attack us. So my motives were to flee to safety. The boy was with us.
Right, so, Your Honour, that means it wasn't an abduction, it was a fucking rescue. Is that right? Little dwarfy chap whose name I've forgotten.
That is how I think of it, yes.
There you go. Told you.
Right, with that, I would like the three of you to please roll for me a persuasion check, all three of you.
Okay.
So Doran's 11 gets you a nothing, I'm afraid. Slobber's 16. 16 gets you a d6. So the way that it's working, folks, is that as the characters make their rolls translate into either no damage or into some damage. To win this case, they need to deal a significant amount of damage before Damnifer does. And so your d6 there, please, Slobber. A 4. All right. That puts you on 19.
Can I roll guidance on these things as well, Guy? Can I use guidance?
No, guidance won't help here, I'm afraid. And Damnifer got a 19, unfortunately, which puts him on a d10. Oh, a 1.
Good.
All right, currently Damnifer is sitting on 11. You are sitting on 19 after your investigations and things from last week. The Arbiter has made his decision and he dismisses Lord Thodar. He then looks to the three of you. Your witness.
We're going to get that Twilight shed, when he said he knew from when he was a kid.
Yes. Eldred.
Yeah.
Your honor, to the stand, we summon forth Eldred Vernetch.
Bah! And suddenly Eldred Vernetch appears.
Doran makes an involuntary step towards him and his heart is beating.
He locks eyes with Doran and his whole face kind of softens slightly. What is your question?
You want to start there, Slobber, or will I?
This part of the case I shall leave to you, Jal.
Right. Right, you, priesty chap. What do you think about this little dwarf guy? Is he a nice guy or is he a piece of shit? I mean, do you like him?
I would be lying if I said anything other than he has my whole heart.
Fucking hell. Right, good. And as to his character, his moral, you know, probity, is he a good man? Is he a bad man? What is he?
Doran is incredibly dedicated and loyal. He
Right.
carries a great burden that no one can possibly know.
Oh yeah. What's that?
And-
What's that burden in exactly?
As I've just said, no one can know except Doran.
Oh right. That's interesting. Anyway, you are a priest of what you call it? Yeah,
Helvath.
that's a guy. Yeah. And so is Doran. Would you say he's good at his? You said he was dedicated. Is he dedicated to his god?
I have very seldom met anyone who is less dedicated.
Right. See? He's a lovely bloke. He does his job really well, and everybody thinks he's the bollocks. Right. So, is that it, Slobber? Is that all I need to do with this?
You're my lord.
Arbiter looks at you.
I would like to enter a plea of true love.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Before your entry can be petitioned, Damnifer, you are allowed questions. Damnifer rises, looks over at the three of you and gives you just a big smile. I'm so glad that you've joined us today. How delightful to hear that you are so madly in love with this dwarf. Look at him, such a fine specimen. I have very few questions, Your Honor, but I do have just one. The unspeakable horror that you spoke of. You don't know what it is. Or perhaps you do and you won't say. It doesn't really matter. You are aware that Doran is traveling with those individuals who would seek to bring about the end of everything.
Hey,
Is that the
Objection.
nature of your lover?
shut up, mate. We do that. Objection. What is it? Why are we doing that?
Grounds.
It's bullshit.
You will not use that language in my court. Counsel, control your client.
Oh, all right. Yeah. You shut up, mate. Now, right. That is a very serious accusation, and we would want evidence to that effect. Incontrovertible.
Evidence, says Damnifer.
Yeah.
I'll give you evidence. And he produces this giant contract. In this contract, I have one of Doran's closest companions agreeing to hand over an apocryphal book to me. That book, the Crepuscularium, is all about defying and bringing down the gods. Now, does that strike you as the actions of a holy man? A pursuit of a book that is so evil, that is so debased,
Objection.
that even the clergy refuse to acknowledge its existence?
Damnifer, as I have entered an objection, you have to stop talking.
He is correct, Damnifer.
Yeah. Shut your fucking cake, oh you prick. I'm sorry, Your Honour.
Damnifer is referring to one further witness, one whose character, if you were to understand him, even a signed contract may not accurately represent what this person would be willing to.
And anyway,
hold to.
sorry, mate. And anyway, what's it got to do with our client? I mean, some other geezer, his mate or something, signed something. What's it got to do with Dorian.
You see, it has everything to do with Doran because he knows. He knows what the purpose is. Because he's agreed to hand the book over to me, pursuant to the same contract.
And this person to which we are speaking had a previous contract with you, did he not, Damnifer? Would you say he lived up to those terms of that contract? Would you say you would rely upon him to fulfill the matters which you laid down? In fact, if we're
Objection, Your Honor, says Damnifer. We are off target. Damnifer is not on trial.
Should be.
He was not on your list.
Oh shit! Yeah, we should have put him in a fucking list, mate. Oh, we fucked this one. Sorry, mate, you fucked.
Avery is on the list, though.
And that can be addressed at that time.
It is true that part of Damnifer's deal, which he made very clear to me, was that I should return the Crepuscularium to Damnifer over one of my colleagues, Professor Godfried. However,
When
that did
Athelred-
not happen yet. I would state that I am not on trial for what I did not yet do. This is a
You were
future
looking
point.
for the Crepuscularium?
Yes. We heard whispers of it on our journeys, Eldred. My intention was to destroy it.
Yes. This is all very touching, says Damnifer. Moving swiftly along, Your Honor, I think we can effectively dismiss this whole true love nonsense.
Well, no.
Clearly, the lovers were keeping secrets from each other.
No, sorry, mate. Your Honour, what's your face? Here's the thing. All that stuff stands apart from the true love play. The true love thing still exists, and it doesn't matter about contracts or whether he's a shit or not.
But clearly, Your Honor, the dwarf was keeping secrets from his supposed love.
You tell
That's
me.
not
You ever
true
been
love.
married, Damnifer?
Listen, mate. Secrets that are not incompatible with love. I can show you a few fucking things about my missus. I'll tell you that. That's not what we're going to talk about. But
Silence, says the arbiter.
shit.
I need all three of you to please give me, oh dear, a
Medicine
deception check.
Which one?
Deception.
Perception.
Deception.
Deception, sorry.
Deception.
Oh, wine, bro. 14.
14. No good from Jal there. Slobber's no good. Doran, unfortunately, is no good either because Damnifer's no good either. It seems as if this whole debate has left the arbiter. Maybe it's true love, maybe it's not true love, but questions have been asked, and more have been asked than answered, perhaps, in this battle. He is dismissed.
Slobber, mate, we really fucked up. We did not call Damnifer. We're a pair of fuck. You're just supposed to be the smart one.
He then turns to Damnifer. Your witness, devil. Damnifer bows and says, well, considering this is such a wonderful family reunion, I call His Majesty Alexander of Southern Brunei. Bang! And the youth is suddenly standing there. He sees you, Doran, and his eyes light up. Doran!
Alex, boy, we're going to ask you some questions. Please answer them truthfully. You will be sent back shortly.
Might fucking help us.
Damnifer steps forward. Your Majesty, you have travelled quite extensively with this dwarf, have you not? Well, yes, I have. He saved me when the assassins were trying to, when they killed my whole family. I see. Very good of him to do that. Did he also steal you from the elvish lord Thodar? Well, no, not really. That was Gracie. Georgie. She She came and said that we had to leave because there was lots of things happening, bad things happening. Oh, I see. So you might say Doran had nothing to do with it then. Oh, no, he didn't have anything to do with it. He wasn't even there. I see. So he could care less where you were. Is that what you're saying? No, I'm not saying that either. No. Right. Now, were you or were you not in the house where Doran and several other individuals butchered several innocent individuals after ransacking their house and illegally occupying it?
Objection. Call objection.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm falling asleep. Objection.
Grounds.
They were not innocent people.
You shut up.
They were not innocent people. They were murdering children.
They weren't innocent people, A, right? They were bastards. 2, what did I say? A or B, or 1 or 2. Anyway, the next bit, fucking, they were bastards and they deserved to die. And, yeah, you know, it wasn't nasty. They was protecting a little boy from these horrible people what had eaten kids or killed kids.
Edible, yeah. Man-eating plants in the basement.
Man-eating fucking plants. That's
One
not
of them
nice.
animated a teddy bear to try and kill us.
I would like.
What kind of freak animates a fucking teddy bear? That actually gets on my fucking...
What mind does that come from?
I would like to present to your honor the way, and I will remind you the way in which Damnifer presents his cases stretches reality to its thinnest.
Yeah, that's right. What he said.
Very well. Your objection is sustained. Damnifer, you will change your line of questioning to being...
And also, can I just say something else about this whole thing? He's like, oh, he didn't rescue the boy, or he did rescue... No, he abducted him. He got to get his story straight, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Which is it? Is he abducted or is he rescued? The kid seems to like him.
Damnifer's approach is not on trial, Councillor.
Fucking should be, because he's a... Anyway.
Damnifer, do you have any further questions for the boy? No, I don't think... Oh, wait a minute. There is one last question. So, Alexander, you were handed over as slave labor to a dwarf in exchange for property. Do you think slavery or child abuse is a good thing? Do you think that's something that a good person would do voluntarily? Well, he said it would be for my benefit and that I could learn something from working with common people and dwarves, I think.
Objection.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all down to motive, isn't it? And we don't know what that is. He's speculating that my client's motives were shit, child abuse, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was his own twisted, screwed up, horrible intention to make the boy stronger. Now we can't, you know, you can't say that it was malicious if this crazy dwarf actually thought that it would make the boy better. Is what I'm trying to say.
The payment for this labor was in fact an artifact that would actually save the prince from further harm. Thus, you cannot speculate as to the intentions.
Everything we did to protect the boy.
Yes, I'm quite sure that you did, and that includes handing him over to known vampires.
Objection.
No, it didn't do that. Didn't do that.
On what grounds?
As of yet,
It's true.
Doran, I believe, is not even aware. He's not even aware such a dealing happened. Are you, Doran?
Where is Alex now?
Yeah. Where's he now?
Like above table. I think I died before before Alex came back. Yeah.
So
The city was being sacked. Doran died. I didn't hear about it, so this is news to him.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Alex, where are you? Are you safe?
I am now. And I'm engaged.
Engaged.
Shit.
No further
Silence!
questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's it. We're taking a recess or something.
You cannot call for a recess, Counselor. But if you need time to consult with your client, you may ask.
We are fine to proceed to the next witness.
You have no
Well,
questions
no, we
for
haven't talked to the
king.
king yet.
Oh, cross-examination, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
That's the thing.
Yes.
May I speak with my
Unless
counsels?
Damnifer has further questions. Damnifer is seething at this point, and he looks at Alexander. He looks back at the two of you. I have no further questions for this youngling, other than to say that he's hormonal, and as a result shall probably be discredited. He takes a seat on his bench.
Right.
Yeah.
Doran, mate, what's going on here?
Everything we've done has been to protect the boy.
Okay.
Sometimes the decisions may appear rash or irrational, I would say, but as you know, he is safe. He is alive. He is protected from evil. Everything we have done has been with that aim. That is the questioning, please.
I have an angle.
Go for it, mate. You're up.
My love, my lad.
Don't fucking come on to him, mate.
Says the giant, slobbering barbarian in hell.
You will no doubt be aware that Halvoth, his dominion, is of nature, life, death. So, to Alexander, I ask, Doran's intentions towards you, have they been to preserve your life?
I think so, yes. Always.
So, you would say that he is following the core tenets of his faith?
I'm not particularly...
I'll phrase this another way. Has Doran done to the best of his ability, done nothing but try to save you from harm?
Objection, Your Honor, says Damnifer, his tail tapping on the floor. The child is not an expert on Doran's capabilities, and so cannot possibly answer a question as to the nature of whether he's using his full powers or not.
Well, I got a counter objection because when you were talking to him, you were doing all this. Well, does Doran know this? Does Doran want that? Fucking little shit doesn't know that either. So that's bollocks. That is.
Your Honor, the debate over what powers Doran is capable has not yet come up in discussion. I would like to table that for later.
Very well. Rephrase your question to within the parameters of the child's experience, then.
Is he a nice bloke? That's all we fucking need to know. Does a kid think he's a nice bloke?
Is it not Damnifer's question?
No, it's yours.
No, it's yours.
What else, Jowl? What else?
Look, is what it is, right? Sunshine, Alex, whatever your name is, yeah? Do you think this dwarf looks after you?
Oh, yes.
Fucking that's it. No further questions. What's your name?
The witness is relieved. Bang!
Doran mouths thank you at Alexander before he leaves.
Councillors, your witness.
Oh, that's us, right.
But before you call your witness, I would like all of you, please, to give me a religion check after that little questioning.
Not good at this.
Oh, that's almost got.
Enter
Oh.
a cleric.
So, Doran, you got 23. That allows you to roll a d20.
Oh, yeah, no, wait for the nat one. Oh, I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it.
You shouldn't have said that.
Not bad.
16. Lovely. Putting you on a very firm 35 points. Almost 3 times ahead of Damnifer. Who is your next witness?
Got to be the little that dodgy half dead for that, doesn't it?
Yes. You want to call to the stand Avery Dumas?
I think so that you don't get schizophrenic, I should handle this.
Yeah. Hang on, I've got a way of doing it though. We've got this.
I think Slobber's great. Let Slobber do the question.
So be it. Bang! And suddenly Avery appears, looking a little bit shell-shocked. Your questions.
Well, this is rather familiar.
What's your name, mate?
By which name would you prefer?
Which fucking... Oh, yeah, you've got all this shit going on. Right, let's go with your most recent nomenclature.
To my best of my understanding, my name is Averadus Meribranche.
Right, and what were you known before that?
Avery Dumas.
Right. What do you think about this little shit? My client over here, Doran.
Depends on how much I'm compelled to tell the truth. To be honest, he's a bit stuck up.
Yeah, you tell the truth.
Yeah.
Right. He's a bit stuck up, right? But I forgot what I'm supposed to ask you.
You're asking about the powers. Avery has much better powers than Doran.
That's right. That's right. Sorry, mate.
Joel, the line of questioning that we were going to ask. In fact, let me handle this for a moment.
Well, you do that,
Please
mate.
do.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, it's just not my thing. Yeah.
Averadus, would you say that the powers that you signed, that were given to you by Damnifer, were of intense power? That's right here. Excellent. And they were of an undead nature, you could say? You could say so, yeah? I even turned my head. Excellent. So, the powers that you witnessed being granted to Doran, you would argue were not quite up to the standards of this.
Objection, Your Honor. How on earth is this individual supposed to understand the scope of power?
Well, wait a minute. Is your bloody servant, isn't he? So I mean,
That is
what
correct.
it is, I'll tell you what. Let's ask Damnifer, which is more powerful, the shit you get this little bollocks to do, or the stuff that you gave the dwarf to do on the basis is his contract? Yeah.
I am not on trial here. You didn't call me.
Fuck.
That is correct, Counselor.
You really fucked up, mate. Anyway, go on.
Sustained. You cannot ask the witness to judge another's powers.
I can describe my powers, what I was enabled to do on the material plane.
Are you a witness?
Yeah, can we make him one?
The trial has begun.
Oh, shit. All right, I'll tell you what.
Counselor, do you have any further questions for this witness?
The second line of questioning, dear Jowl. My mind is fractured right now. I mean, on my mind it goes.
I'll tell you what, right? Right, so, Judge, you're saying this guy can't be asked to compare the powers of one person to the other, right? Okay.
Correct.
Avery Dumas, whatever your name is. Put your other hat on, mate. Right, you. Yeah, you. What's the most powerful thing you can do on the basis of your contract with this prick over here?
I can kill and summon forth the spirit to inhabit their incorporeal form for a few hours.
That's pretty good. Right, now, Doran, on the other hand, he signed a contract with your patron. What can he do on the basis of that?
He can point and make what is only describable as some sort of fart pad.
Right. Your Honour, I think it's self-evident that one of those is really good and the other one's shit.
Objection again, Your Honour.
Fuck this guy. I'm going to go over there and object to your fucking face.
Councillor.
Very calm now. Very calm.
Your Honour, Avery is hardly an expert on contractual law, and to describe the powers that I have granted to Doran as simply gas is a gross misrepresentation of my powers. Wasn't it our learned councillor friend over there who stated that stretching the truth should be avoided?
Your Honour. You just said yourself, Damnifer, that this character is not one who is familiar with, is not one well-versed in contractual obligations, but a moment ago. And yet one of your previous arguments was she would have been compelled to have presented you with the corpuscularum, which was indeed his contractual obligation, and yet you bring into doubt his veracity, his faithfulness to the very contracts. In fact, we can go down that line and we can further supply that he has completely disregarded and renegotiated a contract with you. So weak is his willingness to follow your contractual obligations.
That's good, that.
Boom.
The witness will refrain from going boom.
I'm
Damn
sorry,
it, if it looks
John.
from you, he looks back at the
Fucking
arbiter.
headache, mate.
I'm not entirely sure the point that my colleague is making here. Merely
Who's
that Dumas has not got the capacity to decide whose powers are greater or lesser.
If I may. Here's the other thing, right? Damnifer keeps vacillating on this point of do his thralls understand that contract, but do they fucking not?
The contract of Avery Dumas knows his contract. He does not know the contract of Doran at all.
Right, well, what I'm saying is, yeah, you're saying that this dwarf lad should know all about his contract, and that Dumas knows all about his contract, but as far as this little dwarf is concerned, all he can do with your powers is fart. I can do that.
Surely that is on the dwarf.
No,
in
he
terms
doesn't
of
understand
his
what he can do.
understanding. And nonetheless, Your Honour, I move that this has no bearing on the case, as I am not a witness, nor is Doran.
Slobber, mate, I'm getting really fucking angry. I'm getting really
The
angry.
arbiter looks back. I agree. Any further questions for your witness?
Think something.
Joel, perhaps one last phrasing from myself, and maybe you can step in to firm up this argument. Dear Your Arbiterness, you allowed us a differential, an extension upon the sentence, the preliminary hearings before this very trial, on the grounds that Doran needed further time to fully anticipate and understand his contract. Thereby, you have provided us with grounds, with precedent, that it is common that those who sign these contracts are under duress and thus do not have the wherewithal or in an emotional state with which to fully understand the contract they are signing. And I think Joel can take over and further interrogate.
Right, So the point he's making, yeah, is the
Is there
contract
a
that gives this
point?
bloke power, yeah, is worth a shit if he doesn't understand what it does. Right? I mean, if you have a power but you don't know what you can do with it, you don't really have that power. So the contract is it's shit, right? It's
If I
shit
may,
Objection, Your Honour. My
he can't do
learned
anything.
colleagues are fishing for
No,
some
I tell you
kind
what,
of
I
point.
tell you what, hang on, I got it, right? If this Dumas chap can speak with the dead and all that, right? Thanks to what Damnifer's given him, yeah? And this dwarf, even though he doesn't understand what he can do with his power, means that all he can do is fart with it. That is essentially a limitation that has been imposed on him by Damnifer by not telling him the full fucking story, yeah?
in fact,
Now,
I can
I am reaching, but that's not the point.
I can confirm that for a very long time, I didn't even know that I was a follower of my patron. So little does does these contracts hold any bearing over us.
Yeah, so basically, Damnifer is using his clients or his thralls' ignorance to get them to do what he wants them to do. That's what it is, yeah.
Any further questions?
May I speak to Avery? Is
Yeah,
that allowed, Arbiter?
Given that I remain hopeful for some point to be made, very well.
Avery, it is good to see you here.
Under the circumstances, I'd say it's quite nice to see you as well.
Avery, when we sat together at the campsite one day before my demise, you spoke with me about the deal I had made with Damnifer, and you expressed that you were disappointed in me. This point cut me very deep. I have made foolish decisions in the past, but the scorn of a friend cut even deeper. And do you remember what I said to you, Avery? That despite the fact that I had made a deal with Damnifer to come back and try and save my friends, to try and save that boy who was on the stand minutes ago, I still remained dedicated to my god, Halvoth, and that no matter what contract I had signed, my faith was like a burning beacon, and it would follow me into hell itself. I put before you a piece of evidence, Arbiter, that Halvoth is still with me, and he lays claim on me first of all, despite what Damnifer might say. And at this moment, Guy, I would like to clasp my amulet and cast Channel Divinity Twilight Sanctuary. And I would like this holy wave to wash out unthreateningly over those around me, but allow them to feel in that aura the spirit and presence of Halvoth himself, the one who is bringing and giving life. And I would put to the Arbiter, this is what my God still gives to me, and he still believes in me, not some joke power that Damnifer used to trick me to signing a contract in my most desperate of hours. Avery has seen me many times in battle use my powers only for good. And here is an example, here, in the 9 hells, in front of you.
Oh, please make your concentration check.
So that's a constitution check. Okay.
Yes. Oh, thank goodness. All right, this washes out. From the crowd that have been watching, there's no ooh and an ah.
And it does this.
It does this. This washes out.
Do they all look over their heads and see 15 temporary hit points and like,
Yeah. What a wonderful display of devotion, Your Honor. Although I'm not entirely sure once again, the point that my colleagues are trying to make.
Well, then let me elucidate for you, because you're obviously a bit thick. This is what he's done, right? He's shown everyone with incontrovertible evidence that he still has a connection to Halvoth. Did I say that right? Yeah. Halvoth, right? Which means there is no doubt that it is, in fact, a genuine article priest of Halvoth. And we want that written in the whatever you call them, you know, in the notes and shit.
It shall be documented.
Right.
Any further questions, councillors? And I emphasize the word question.
Oh, right. Let's see. Do you think, as a thrall of Damnifer, that he is a trustworthy patron?
Objection, Your Honour.
It's perfectly valid, because both of them are thralls. They're both. This is evidence as to whether the thralls generally trust their patron. You know, it's important.
The individual in question has no relationship with me whatsoever and cannot possibly testify to my character.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, does he trust the contract that he signed, that you're faithful to it? That's what I want to know, because you're saying with the two geezers, yeah?
Everybody looks at Avery.
I would go so far as to say that if I managed to worm my way out of one contract, I reckon I could do it a second time.
Your Honour, the client has not answered the question.
That's true, mate.
Do you trust the legality of the contract?
In the context that I just mentioned, I am dubious of the legality of the contract.
Yeah, I see.
On what grounds?
On the grounds...
What evidence do you have that anything in that contract is contrary to what is in the contract?
The part where it says, until death.
Yeah, look at him.
You'll need to elaborate more than that, I'm afraid.
Well, he's dead, isn't he?
Was dead.
Yeah.
And for that duration, Your Honour, I was still able to summon forth the powers of Damnifer, thus exploiting some sort of loophole.
So what you're saying is that an individual who was granting you powers continued to give you those powers even though you were no longer in the contract. Could you not say that that was a benevolent act on behalf of the contractor?
It might have been benevolent, but it was illegal.
Your Honour, I'm asking a question of the client, not of the councillor.
Listen, what you're saying...
Councillor, you will let the witness answer the question.
He's so fucking angry, mate.
I have been told that I could have no relationship with Damnifer, and thus I cannot cast aspersions on the nature of his character.
One last question, Your Honour. Did you sign the contract? It's a yes or no question.
Did I sign the original contract of Averadus?
The contract that you currently have with me.
Yes.
Well,
thank you, Your Honour. No further questions.
I have an objection, Your Honour. I have a question for a witness.
You are objecting to a yes or no question?
Yes, I am. Because some questions cannot adequately be answered with a yes or a no, because the truth is in between, Your Honour, as well you know, mate. Now,
either he signed or he didn't sign.
Well, the signing is one thing, but the he is another. Who's he? Is it this Everard, that's whatever the fuck, or Avery? Because they are two separate people. Are they not, Avery? Do you have any memories of your previous life as Everard, or whatever the fuck?
Not as such, no.
Not as such. Do you have any memories of your former life whatsoever?
I do not hold such historical memories now.
Right. So, I think we're talking about two different people. How can how can Avery be said to have signed a contract when he wasn't Avery? He was everybody, whatever the fuck. Yeah? Two different people, Your Honour. Two different people.
I do think perhaps you need a refresher. He produces the latest contract that Avery signed. Is this your contract?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And is that your signature on the last page, page 9553?
That is not the signature of Averadus Malebranche, no.
But you are not Averadus Malebranche.
Not as such, no.
So that would then make sense as to why it's not his signature.
How many fucking contracts did you sign, mate?
Quite a few.
Oh, shit.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. All right, the three of you can give me an Arcana check for this little performance here. Unfortunately, so can Damnifer. Oh.
Ooh. Ooh. No.
The 23. Oh no, that's mine. Yes. Nothing from anybody there. Damnifer, however. Oh, lucky. He only rolled a 3 on his d20. All right, we're into the last phase. Damnifer, your witness. I call to the stand Georgina.
Am I still here? What am I doing?
Dismissed.
Oh, thank God.
Georgina Flock. And she suddenly appears. Doran. She starts to tremble and her eyes fill up with water. Now, Miss Flock, I have a question for you. On the night of the massacre of your village, do you know who was responsible for the annihilation of an entire village of innocent dwarves? She looks desperately at Doran.
Objection, Your Honour.
Grounds.
The age to which Doran was, he had not yet found the light of Halvoth. Thus, I believe he would have been absolved later on of this misdoing.
I was a foolish young dwarf. Slobber, yes.
He doesn't even deny it, Your Honour. He says he was a foolish dwarf. And Halvoth doesn't provide absolution for one's sins. That's a different world setting.
Now, wait a minute. Right. What age was he? What age was Doran when this happened?
Young.
Like a child? Were you a kid?
No, I would say teens, because I was
that's...
climbing towers and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you weren't a fully grown adult.
No, I was definitely not a fully grown adult.
Right. Well, it is his bollocks because, that was stuff he did when he was a kid. It's a different, he wasn't a...
Very well. I retract the question.
Yeah, it's more like it.
And let me ask you this, Miss Flock. Does Doran blame himself for the annihilation of an entire village of people? Yes or no? There she looks over at you, Doran. I think he does. But he shouldn't. It wasn't your fault. But he does, nonetheless. Now,
Wait. Objection again. I've got another one.
Grounds.
A person can be mistaken about their own guilt, Your Honour.
You're absolutely right. A person can be mistaken. So, Miss Georgina Flock, why do you suspect that Doran still blames himself? What evidence do you have? He told me. Oh, I see. He confessed to you his guilt. Well, in that case, then, I have one other question for you, Miss Flock. Do you think that he has ever lost his faith in Helvarth? Once again, she looks at you, Doran. Maybe like once?
Objection, Your Honor!
Grounds.
I would pose to you that to question one's faith and to battle with the nature of ultimate dedication, one must have doubt to overcome.
Plus, right, he may have had his doubts, but he's overcome them, and we just had evidence of that when he did his fucking thingy, right? And also,
Fair.
the fact that this lassie is not a fucking expert on being a priest and being faithful to shit. What does she know? She's just a bloody, you know, she's not an expert witness. And all this heart to heart they might have had, and oh, I was guilty, and you went get, no, you're all right, and all that shit. That's irrelevant. That's just people talking. It's not evidence.
Our previous witness, an expert witness on the matters of worship of Halveth, did in fact say that Doran was of the most highest echelon of faithful.
Yes. This is all very wonderful, your worship, and that's fine. I will grant it. They don't deny that he vacillated in his faith. Wouldn't that seem to imply to you, Miss Flock, that if someone can change their mind so often and claim that it's part of the process, that's just someone who, well, basically just doesn't want to follow their commitments and so changes as it pleases them?
Objection. He's leading the witness.
Let me expand upon that.
Do not lead, Counselor. I retract the statement. Let me ask you this then, Miss Flock. Last question before I leave you to your thoughts. If you had made a commitment and then you chose to change your mind for whatever reason, and then later on it suited you to change your mind yet again, would you think that person trustworthy? Well, it depends on the circumstance. They might not. The answer is a yes or a no. Are they trustworthy or
Objection.
not?
It's not as simple as a yes or a no, Your Honour.
I'm asking for a yes or no answer, Your Honour.
Oh, you shouldn't, you prick. I mean,
We have our counter arguments to come. Jowl,
Yeah.
simmer down.
yeah, all right.
Would you trust someone who changes their mind on a dime and then changes it back again whenever it suits them, Miss Flock? I'm really trying. I see. Well, in that case, then, no further questions.
Well, I've got a lot of questions.
Quickly.
Right. Do you trust Dorian?
Yes.
There you go. That makes all the other stuff a lot of bollocks. Also, do you think, in the long stretch of things, that it has actually vacillated between a man of faith and not a man of faith? Or has he just hit a few speed bumps and he's got over it? Which is the more accurate description of him?
Oh, I wouldn't want to.
I mean, to say
Let
to
me-
you... Yeah, go on.
I'll put it this way. Has Doran's relationship with Faith been so steadfast that it has actually caused a rift in your relationship?
That's good at.
Yeah. He
There you
ran
go.
away and he didn't tell anyone.
There you go.
I'm sorry, Your Honour. Did we all hear that? He ran away and didn't tell anyone.
No.
That's definitely the act of a noble individual.
Objection.
Ran
Your
away
Honor.
from pain and towards my faith, damn it.
Yeah, that's bollocks. Because
He doesn't deny that he was running away.
Hey,
To
listen,
where and to
running
what?
through.
fucking go up there.
Order! Order!
He's lying, Your Honour. He's
Louder,
lying. He's
get louder.
misrepresenting the situation completely. He ran away to follow his faith. It's a good thing. And he's never vacillated, and we know that because he's fucking able to do the shit that he did a minute ago. He's fucking...
And he was able to admit his guilt
And
Any
faced with
further-
signing a contract with Damnifer,
Councillors.
I ask for the power to vanquish the darkness, damn you.
Councillors, control your client.
Can't control myself.
Ow, I want to control my coke.
Any further questions?
Right. Do you still consider him a loyal friend? And by the way, you're looking a bit rough today. Never noticed a beard before.
She blushes. Yes, I do.
Right. See?
Any further questions?
Nah, too angry.
Georgie, whatever happens, look after the boy. Don't let the evil get him.
Bang! You have no more witnesses on your list, councillors.
We do.
He checks the list again. Who?
Godfried.
You wish to summon him?
What further evidence would Godfried provide?
Character reference above table, probably character reference, right? We started off as kind of frenemies, and we have a grudging respect for each other.
Yeah. We would like to call to the table Godfried.
Right.
Professor Gottfried Burach Wilhelm Friedrich Schopenhauer. You
Well done,
are
sir.
summoned. Bang!
Schopenhauer turns up. He's wearing a dressing gown. With a cup of tea. What the fuck? What the
Your
hell is going on?
questions. You will answer the questions. Council.
Professor Schopenhauer.
It's Schopenhauer.
Schopenhauer. What is your relationship with the accused Doran?
Schopenhauer's going to look over this whole scene, and he's mentally taking notes for his next dissertation. But anyway, Doran, well, it's a very complicated man, you know. He is not an intellectual, but he does have extraordinary insight, and he has a dogged dedication to what he believes in, which I at first found really irritating, but I have come to respect it.
And what is it that Doran is dedicated to?
Well, his faith, of course.
His faith too?
Halvoth is god of the cycles.
And you have witnessed firsthand the devoutness of his faith.
But I have witnessed it in a very concrete fashion, because he is able, of course, to summon the divine's magic. That is the prerogative of the faithful. For example, he has cured us of wounds. He has allowed us to see in not just ordinary darkness, but the darkness of the Shadowfell, which, as you know, is perfect darkness. Which I found personally actually very impressive, although I would never say this to him, of course. And also he has saved our lives and the lives of Prince Alexander on many occasions.
You would say that he has upheld the tenets of his faith in protecting the lives?
Objection, Your Honor. This is not a priest we are talking to. He has no...
Excuse me. I am professor of matters of theology in the University of Howard and Lee. So I beg your pardon, you are incorrect. Your counsel doesn't even know what he's talking about. I know the tenets of the Halvoth faith extremely well, and I can say that well, you see, what Doran does is he is not, again, a man of intellect exactly, which is not to say he is stupid, but he enacts and embodies the principles of his faith in a manner that I cannot fault.
And if you were to provide any further character reference, what would you say to Doran? If you were to learn that he was indentured to a devil, perhaps?
Schopenhauer will look at Doran for a while, and you can sense a kind of a struggle. He doesn't want to say what he's about to say, but this situation
under
compels
oath.
him. And he says, "It is clear to me that Doran is a man who believes in black and white. And circumstances have been such that he has been forced to make decisions that do not align with that very straightforward binary conviction. And as a result, I think his mind has been driven to a certain desperation, an extreme that one cannot really appreciate unless one has been through it themselves. And therefore, I would submit that none of us can really judge Doran on what he has done. But I am convinced that he has done what he has done because he thought it was the right thing to do. Perhaps naively, but I have no doubt in this whatsoever.
So, being an interesting case, whereas two powerful deities, in essence, have claim to his soul, where would you weigh in on that?
Well, I cannot answer that question quickly and accurately at the same time because it is very complicated. My belief essentially is this, that Halvarth is as much a tyrant as this individual here, Damnefer. And that in a very real sense, Doran's soul has been pulled apart and stretched to breaking point, hence the desperate and sometimes irrational nature of his decisions. This is an extraordinary situation, and to expect the mortal soul to simply adapt to this is unreasonable, despite what this deceiver would say.
But you would say that his intentions were those of a man who, in essence, was following the will, if not the letter, of his god.
It is not even a question of the letter. He is simply doing his best to do what he thinks is right. And in that, I have been extraordinarily impressed with him. I think in some cases he has made decisions I would not be able to make.
No further questions.
Thank you.
How very interesting, your testimony, Professor. Remind me, how many people have you murdered?
Your Honor, am I on trial?
You will answer the question.
Is there
Your-
not...
Objection, Your Honor. What is the relevance?
The relevance is I'm trying to establish that you have brought as a witness someone who is quite capable of breaking the law on their own terms. As a result, their testimony is meaningless.
Your Honor, if that is the line of questioning, then I would like to highlight Lord Thodar.
Lord Dis is no longer here, Councillor.
Whose
Objection
side are you on,
overruled.
Judge?
The witness will answer the question. How many people have you murdered?
Just one.
I see. What is the nature of the crepuscularium?
Despite the fact that we are in what I can only describe as a divine setting, I don't think we have the time for this. And actually, may I amend my previous statement? You said murder. I have not murdered anyone. It would be in the law of Howden Lee, certainly, involuntary manslaughter. I know a little of the law also.
Yes, killing someone, making them dead.
Involuntary manslaughter, not premeditated murder.
Did you then hide
or is
the
this
crime?
not really a court of law, but just some
Did you
stage
hide
there?
the evidence of your involuntary manslaughter?
Of course I did, yes.
For how many years?
Again, I would ask the court whether I am on trial or Doran is on trial.
The councillor has established this line of questioning as to your character. He will answer the question.
Decades.
I see. Decades. You have described Doran as being someone of sound mind, capable of making decisions.
No, this is not what I have said. You are not even listening to me. I have said that this man's soul and mind, for there is one thing, have been stretched apart by the demands of two great powers to the breaking point. It is
And
in
yet
fact
he's-
my belief that he is not of sound mind, and certainly not sufficiently sound mind to honor a contract with a manipulative devil.
There are so many racial slurs in that sentence, I'm not even going to begin to unpack them. You claim then that this individual is not of sound mind or body and is torn in twain. Is that correct?
That certainly is my belief as to his state of mind the last time I saw him breathe.
Ah, excellent. So we have someone who has no value in being returned anywhere because they are broken. And no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you very much. The witness is relieved. Bang! And Godfried vanishes in indignation. Okay, after
who was
that...
that boring fucking cunt? What a prick!
All right, after that final display of desperately trying to find some truth, I would ask you all to make a survival check, if you please. I think you guys... Nothing from Slobber, nothing from Jowl. Anything from
18.
18. Very nice. Roll a d8.
D8. 2.
2. All right. With no further witnesses being brought forward, Damnifer is not summoning his last witness. The Arbiter then turns and looks at everybody. I have been supplied a copy of the contract that Damnifer is claiming. The contract is sound in terms of everything outlined by Damnifer. The question is whether or not Doran was of mind and capability when signing this contract. I have one question. Doran, when you signed this contract, were you aware you were signing a deal with a devil?
I couldn't imagine what else it could be, but he did not introduce himself.
I looked the part. I wasn't disguising myself. Come.
Objection. He, on the previous testimony we heard, that he was a bit mental and therefore not quite capable of discerning truth from reality, and so he could have been wrong about who he was talking to and all that.
I asked the witness directly.
Yeah, I know, but I'm bored. I want to wrap this up.
All right. With that testimony, that gives Damnifer plus 12. I will render my judgment. Damnifer steps forward, looks at you, Doran. I cannot wait to turn you into the lowest ranked devil, and I will torture you for a long time. And if you think that I won't be coming after the two of you, your precious little Princess Lucretia better hide you somewhere far away. Order! It is the judgment of this court, based on the evidence supplied, that Doran is not beholden to the contract on grounds of mental incapacity.
Boo! Fuck you, Damnifer, you prick.
Objection! Objection! Shouts Damnifer. This is
Hey,
I have the contract.
Fuck off, you prick.
The Arbiter raises his great sphere, bangs it once.
Lucretia.
The judgment is final. You may lodge complaints as and when necessary. Damnifer looks at the three of you. Well, since the contract is null and void, I have no choice but to rescind any powers that you might have had. And
I'll give them back to you.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got a few for you
This is
as
one
well,
out.
mate.
yes. Well, good luck surviving, then. Damnifer bows to the Arbiter and bursts into flame and disappears. The Arbiter then looks back at the three of you. You are beholden to the cycles of Helvath. This is decided. As he's saying that, this white circle of light starts to surround you, Doran. There is this chanting that can be heard. The Arbiter looks up. It appears you are being summoned back to the mortal realms through religious ceremony. It is your right to refuse. If you refuse, you will continue on to your god Helvath's domain, from where and whence he shall decide your fate.
Doran turns to Slobber and Jowl. Thank you for fighting for me. I did not expect it, and I am in your debt.
Mm-hmm.
Please, thank your lady for me.
Indeed, and the next time you find yourself in litigious circumstances, perhaps you would like to have this, and I hand him our business card.
Yeah. Jal will just say, "You're welcome, mate, but frying pan, fire. Good luck."
I will take their hands if they will, and I will cast
Fuck
aid.
off.
I will cast aid on them. You may need this if Damnifer is after you, and my cleric powers will give you some temporary hit points at least.
Jal will be like, "Oh, it's horrible. I don't like it."
I back into the portal, the white light, and Doran is thinking if he's going to be mischievous and cast Turn Undead. But he just waves and like that.
Pulled up into the heavens. Next case.
What? Let's find ourselves our next victim, eh, Joe?
Thanks, mate. I'm going for a drink.
As the two of you are leaving, stepping out from the shadows is a very happy Lucretia. My boys, I never thought that you would ever pull this one off, but you certainly did. I have to say it was a particularly fine performance. There was that one point where I don't even think the Arbiter was following exactly what it was that you were saying, but it was particularly effective. Damnifer's gone all in a huff right now, and he's trying to plot some kind of attack on our stronghold, so it's going to make things a little complicated for now. However, given the fact that you have snubbed him of one of his souls, you may choose one reward for yourselves, bearing in mind it will have a duration in totality of exactly 24 hours.
Oh, right. There's one little particular place on the plains I like to go. It's called the Salon of Symbarum. It's a very nice place. Got some really good merchandise. 24 hours in there. Lovely.
Consider it done. And you, my dear Slobber, where are you going to go?
A trip to the Imperial Library of the Kings?
Fucking tight ass. Fucking.
You are nothing if not predictable. Well, enjoy, gentlemen. You've earned this. And she snaps her fingers, and you both appear in the places that you want to, except you don't have your skins. So you immediately start writhing on the ground in pain and agony in your respective places and stay there for 24 hours. And on that note, I will thank you for watching, and we'll be back next week when the parties once again united. Huzzah! And there won't be any more legal cases for a very long time. I can promise you that much. Anyway, so very briefly, highlight, folks. Any particular highlights jumping out?
I think the stroke that I had about halfway through, probably.
I like the testimony of Doran every now and again when you were sort of making your impassioned moments. It was very close, by the way. Damnifer ended up on 35 points. You were on 37.
Oh.
That final roll, that nearly pushed him over. So well done to you guys for getting there.
Wow.
So yes.
For the listeners, Guy, if we had lost, then that would have been
the
the
it.
end of Doran. Yeah?
Doran would have been sent to hell and become a level 1 devil lemur to fight in the forces of the Blood War, and that would have been it. Yeah. So
thank you very much, my friends.
Above all other sessions, this has been a real mental chess game.
Right?
Jesus Christ.
I want to play some D&D, man. Not fucking have to use my actual brain.
Who wants to go fight Damnifer? Yeah?
I don't think you have a choice in that matter.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway. Lovely. Folks, thanks very much. And we will see you again next week when we continue. Until then, thanks for watching. Goodbye.